Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. I'm going to get right to it. Brian Daboll, the head coach of the New York Giants, will be coaching for his life on Thanksgiving Day when the Giants head to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Now, this is a different take than I had just a few games ago. In fact, I did a video on it and a podcast stating that Brian Daboll's job was safe, that General Manager Joe Schoen's job was safe. They came out, they talked to the media during the bye week, and it seemed even though the Giants weren't playing well, ownership did not want to make yet another coaching change. But things have changed. The Giants went into that game against Tampa Bay last Sunday totally unprepared. They quit on the coach. There was no energy. Coach, of course, denies that. What is he going to say in his post-game comments, not only the day following the game, but also the next day after the game, saying that the team didn't quit on me. The team was, they played hard, but the players are doing a lot of talking. Malik Neighbors, first-round draft choice, doing a lot of talking for being a first-year player, and not much of it is good. Meanwhile, you've got Saquon Barkley, who continues to tear it up for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, what he had, over 300 yards total in the Eagles win over the Rams on Sunday night? Rushed for, 255 yards? Here's the deal, and I've said it before. Mara and Tish, the co-owners of the Giants, don't want to make yet another coaching change, yet another regime change, because the coach and the general manager really are a package deal. But if the Giants play against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day the way they did against Tampa Bay, I think Brian Daboll is done as a coach. I think that's how significant this game has become. I think that the Giants ownership was willing to give this regime another year. Obviously, they're going to get a first-round pick that's really good, and most likely they'll draft a quarterback, although, as I said before, I'd much rather see them take that pick and trade it for an established NFL quarterback, because that's what the Giants really need. But it wasn't so much that the Giants lost against Tampa Bay on Sunday. It's how they lost against Tampa Bay on Sunday. It was just an absolute disgrace. They were blown out of their own building yet again, and they just didn't have any energy. You should be coming off of a bye week, rested and ready to go. And instead, under Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets, the hero from last season's debacle, they did nothing. Absolutely zero. Wellington Mara always used to be very upset when the Giants played at home in front of empty seats in December. Well, what do you think is going to happen in this December? The Giants are going to be playing in front of empty seats. And it's not so much that the Giants are now losing. You wonder what the future is going to be like. What hope? What hope are they talking about? Joe Schoen, the general manager, saying during the bye week, we've built this team. We've got young players. They're ready to turn the corner. Well, why wait until next season to turn the corner? Why not turn the corner now? Why not get your act together now? You've had, in some cases for some of these players, 2+ years under their belt, under this regime? What are you waiting for? Next year suddenly you're going to turn a switch, and some of these players who've been here under this new regime for 2 years, in year 3 or year 4, suddenly they're going to turn it on? Why wait? Why wait until next year? Do it now. Tell you what, begin to ask yourself the following question. Why did some of these coaches, including defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, who got the heave-ho, why did they start talking behind the scenes about what was going on with Daboll? Maybe they knew something. Maybe it wasn't Martindale's fault. I'll tell you right now, this Thanksgiving Day game between the 2-9 New York Giants and the 4-7 Dallas Cowboys suddenly becomes a significant game for Daboll's future. Mike McCarthy, we know the Dallas coach, is already on the hot seat, although I am not about to rule out the Cowboys yet. I mean, that was a wild win over the Commanders for Dallas. They should beat the Giants on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, so the Cowboys win. They're 5-7. You don't know what's going to happen the rest of the way. Things can get very, very interesting as far as Dallas is concerned. But the Cowboys have owned the Giants in recent years, just dominated the Giants, and particularly in Dallas. So what do you think is going to happen on Thanksgiving Day? I'm predicting right now Dallas will win. The Giants will not win that game on Thanksgiving Day. However, they don't have to win that game for Daboll's job to be saved. They have to play hard. They have to keep it a close game, keep it an exciting game. If they go down to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day and play the way they did against Tampa Bay this past Sunday, Daboll and Shane are out. I don't think there's any question about it. All I am saying is the way that the Giants played on Sunday has changed the entire dynamic of this story. I really thought, and not just me, a lot of people thought the same thing, that the regime or the ownership was going to give this regime another year and then make a decision on how they do. In other words, 2025 was going to be the big year for the Giants, because not so much that the Giants have shown much improvement this season, but you can't keep changing coaches. You can't keep changing general managers. And that was why I felt that they were going to, and others as well, give this regime 2025. Because, I ran down the whole list in that previous commentary on Daboll about all the changes that the Giants made, it seemed, every 2 or 3 years. And that's no way to build an organization. But with the players really quitting on, I don't care what Daboll said, they quit on him. Those players quit on Daboll on Sunday against Tampa Bay. And if they do it again on Thanksgiving Day, Daboll's done. And what a perfect time to get rid of Daboll and even Shane, because the Giants are playing on Thanksgiving Day. They won't have another game for 10 days. It's almost like going into another bye week. So that would give you time to bring in an interim coach and finish out the season. Dare I say Bill Belichick? Let me wrap up this commentary by adding, dare I say Bill Belichick? Well, I'm going to say it, because if I were the New York Giants at this stage, regardless of what happens from here on in, because it's become very evident Daboll is out of his element as a head coach. All the goodwill he built up in his first year has been totally thrown away these last 2 seasons. If I were Mara, if I were Tisch, the Giants co-owners, I'd give the keys to Belichick and say, here, you run the whole show. You be the coach, you be the general manager, you run the whole show. Hey, Belichick has always been close with ownership. He's a Giant really by heart. He's always stayed in touch with Mara particularly. That's why Joe Judge got the head coaching job. He left the Patriots staff to go coach the Giants on the recommendation of Bill Belichick. All I am saying is the Giants are at a crossroads, a big-time crossroads they needn't have been at had they gone out and played a decent game against Tampa Bay. But that's where we are. And if they go out and play another stinker against Dallas on Thanksgiving Day, I'm handing the keys to the car to Bill Belichick. And I'm saying goodbye to Shane, goodbye to Daboll, and let Belichick run the show. That's how big this Thanksgiving Day game is for a 2-9 football team. Remember, empty seats in December does not sit well with the ownership of the New York Giants. That's going to do it for my Dan on Sports commentary. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe down below, as many of you have, and I thank you for that. And be sure to like the video, because it gets more views on YouTube. And that's what YouTube is all about, right? More views. Hey, listen, thank you for watching the commentary, and subscribe to my newsletter. You can go to sportscasterdan.com to subscribe. That's sportscasterdan.com or danlavallo.com. As always, thanks for your support.